Coach, thank you for joining us on the call today. If you take a minute to tie up the game against UConn, maybe a word or two about Justin's performance in the context of the big offensive numbers even, and then what you expect to see Saturday as you face Houston, please.
Well, we came out, obviously had a home game in which we've talked all year long and ever since we've gotten here about defending our home field and to be able to come out and to win another game at home was critical for us, especially moving into conference play. I thought that definitely after watching UConn through the course of the first 3 weeks and watching them get better, we knew we were going to get their absolute best, and they played exceptionally well, and we knew they would. And Coach is doing a great job building that program there. But our guys came out and it was a ball game all the way through this thing. I mean, it was a tough game for us. We had to respond late in the third, fourth quarter to get the game to open up, but it really started with the play of Ryan Becker. We blocked a punt, which kind of opened up the floodgates late in the fourth quarter. But Justin Lawler, obviously, he's just been as consistent of player as we've had since I've been here. Added, I think he had 4 sacks on the night, but just an outstanding young man. I mean, it's who he is, and he never takes a day off. I mean, it's one of those that this guy never takes a play off. But to be able to come out of that ball game and being 1-0 in conference play was huge for us, and especially moving in to this coming week, and obviously traveling down to Houston to play, and we know that the opponent that we're playing, and obviously they've have had a lot of success over the last few years, and so we just got to focus on ourselves. That's our biggest message: is focus on the Mustangs and continue to get better at what we do.
We'll take questions for Coach Chad Morris. Please star 1 on your telephone keypad to join the queue, and the operator will introduce you.
We'll go to Adam Grossbard with Dallas Morning News.
Hey, Chad. You've talked the last 3 weeks about Ben Hicks overthrowing some guys. Are these throws that he's making in practice? And if so, how do you get him to translate that into a game?
Well, first of all, I think Ben Hicks, for over the first 5 games, I think Ben's best performance was this past week. I know he missed on some throws and was high on a few, but just his grittiness, his toughness. We actually had an opportunity. I guess it was in late first quarter, early second quarter. I was looking to make a change and try to create a spark, and I didn't feel like we had the spark, and so we brought DJ in and was going to leave DJ in for a while, but it just, at the end of it, we look back on it and, Ben just gives us the best chance right now for it. And so to be successful, and doesn't mean that those others aren't going to play. It's just right now that's what it is. And, Ben is a great competitor, a fierce competitor, and a really good leader. The ball just we've missed some throws, but you do that every week. Everybody that plays this sport and plays this position, you're gonna wish you had a few throws back, but he's got to continue to get better in his consistency, and he showed some improvements this past week on that. We'll continue to work on that.
Thanks, Chad.
We'll go next to Joseph Duarte from Houston Chronicle.
Hello,
Joseph.
Hey, Coach. Yeah.
Yes,
hey,
sir.
Coach. Hey, I was just curious. So you've been now there 3 years, and you've had a chance to play Houston a few times. In-state schools, is this have a chance? Is this a rivalry? Do you think? I mean, I know you guys look beyond this kind of stuff, but the two schools being close enough, do you feel like there's something that could potentially take off with this game?
Well, I mean, I think that these two programs have been playing each other for a long time, and obviously, the kids know each other. They play high school ball against each other. Some of them are on the same team. We recruit against each other in our state, and so, again, I think there is. I'm sure Coach would say the same thing. I mean, every game's a rivalry game. Every game's a big game, and it's hard to win at any level, and it's hard to win any Saturday. And so it's about taking on just the opportunity for us to get better at who we are and worry about and focus on what we can control. But there's a lot of similarities, and there's a lot of guys that play against each other, and that there's been that sense of competitiveness between the schools. Obviously, Houston has been a program that's been more dominant in the previous years. And us building this program when I came in here, taking over a 1-11, and I mean it was two programs in two different directions, and so we're just trying to focus on just being the best we can be one day at a time.
And if I could follow up real quickly on Ben, I think you had just gotten to SMU, and he was in a decision type deal in late December when Houston had made a coaching change. It was a commitment to Houston. Do you remember just the ability there in December to get him to sign with you guys, and what that kind of did for you in terms of one of you? I guess he might have been your first signing when you got there.
Yeah, Ben was obviously came out of Waco Midway High School and was very successful high school quarterback, and was with all the coaching changes that were taking place that year in around the country and in our state, he was in an opportunity. He was a lot were some unknowns. Had a relationship with his high school coach, and that's kind of how this whole thing started.
Thank you.
We'll go next to Dan Tortora with wakeupcalldt.com.
Good morning, Coach. How are you today?
Good morning, Dan.
To look at, obviously, since you came to SMU, this being the best start that the program has had under you since being there, just what you can say about what's been different about this season, and obviously it takes some time to get things going, but just what you can see this year as opposed to the couple of years prior when you were trying to obviously build a foundation at SMU.
Well, just stay in the course. That's been my biggest message to our team since I walked in here 34 months ago. Is just look, we got to establish our belief. And what is our belief? Because our belief is what the culture is in this program. And so we established our belief, and then just stay true to the process of being who we say we're going to be, and not deviating from that course of action that we take. And through the course of time, basically, really, and surrendering the outcomes. I mean, you can't control the outcomes of something, so all we can do is control on just the way we respond to things, and just staying true to the course over the course of time, and just get a little better every day. That's been our biggest message, and with that came success. And it's one day at a time, and that's literally what this whole thing is about.
Some coaches get the time to build their programs, get the time to create their environment and their culture that they want. And other coaches, there's a shorter window. What you can say about your relationship with the institution at SMU and their dedication to giving you time to have these opportunities to build a team to where it's heading toward and where you're hoping it's heading toward at this point.
Well, this has been a complete rebuild. And when they hired me, they knew that, and I knew that. That this was going to take some time, and we're not done yet. We're still a long way from where we want to be, but this isn't an overnight fix. It didn't get this way overnight, and it's not going to take overnight to get it fixed. It's going to take a series of time, and I think that's what you're seeing. And with that, it's just going to take us to continue to recruit the way we recruit, and staying true to our process, and understand that this thing is it's a course of action, and yes, while we've got off to a great start, we've got to finish strong too, and that's something we've been unable to do. So we'll continue to stay the course and keep getting better.
Thanks, Coach. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Coach, thank you so much for your time today. We look forward to hearing from you again next Monday.
Thank you. Bye-bye.